In this video, we're going to be using curves on our image. So if we go to the adjustment layer icon just here, and if we select curves, okay, great. From here, we can adjust the contrast of our image. So as you can see here, it's currently set to RGB, but we have the option of selecting red, green, and blue also. And this point represents the darkest parts of our image, and at this point it represents the brightest points of our image. So from here, if I was to literally just click and drag this upwards, this is making our shadows of our image brighter, and if I drag it this way, it makes the shadows darker. And similar principle here, if I drag it downwards, it makes the highlights of our image darker, and if I drag it in this direction, it makes the highlights brighter. And we can make a custom point at any point of the RGB line just here. So for example, if we was to literally click and drag, this makes our image brighter and this makes our image darker. And at any point, if we want to reset our image, we can just click this icon here, like so. Now, if we actually wanted to add a contrast, what we could do is, for example, towards the brightest points of our image, we could actually make them a bit brighter, like so. And if we want to focus more on the dark areas, so somewhere around here, we could literally just click here and create a point. And as you can see, there's more contrast being applied here. And if we literally was to just reset our image, we could also work with just the reds here. So from here, if I was just to click and drag, as you can see, our image is becoming more red. And in this direction, as we go downwards, it's becoming more cyan. And if we was to go to our greens, similar principle, our image is becoming more green. And here, it's turning more magenta. And the reason why it turns magenta, this is the opposite color. And if we go to our blues now, again, image is becoming more blue, and here it's becoming more yellow, as this is also the opposite. So we can reset our image. And from here, another way we can adjust our contrast is if we use the eyedropper for the darkest points of our image. What we can actually do here is if we just zoom in on our image and we select a dark point, so it gets a sample of that. And now if we just zoom out, and from here, for our highlights, similar principle, if we select a bright point of our image, as you can see, a contrast here has also been applied. And we can further manipulate this if we want to by, if we was to select, for example, reds, we could slightly decrease the reds of our image like so. And simply put, just to get rid of all of these, we can just click reset. And another feature we can use from here is the auto feature, where Photoshop will adjust it to the most optimal settings that it finds appropriate. So as you can see, that's also been applied. And if we was to literally just close this down, as you can see, we've got our adjustment layer just here. And if we wanted to access those settings again, we could just double click this icon and we've got our settings again. And if we wanted to delete this adjustment layer, simply put, we could just select this icon and just select yes, and that has been deleted.